A new day calls for new things. Let's try something different today. Hello, hello, hello. New day, but you are listening to the Manifest on Purpose show. I am your host, Kimbaley. I am here to help you elevate your conscious to become more than you were yesterday. One thing you should know about me is I love to be different and I love variation. So we're going to try something different today. Thank you so much for deciding to stop by and listen in today. Thank you for all of those you invite. And thank you for subscribing here and on the website at Kimbaley.com. That is KIMBALEY.com. The God in me loves the God in you. Before we get into today's weekly wisdom, let's check out our Astro-Numerology forecast for today. This numerology forecast is courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. It is Sunday, July the 21st. The sun is in Cancer. It's a full moon in Capricorn. It's a 6 universal month, a 9 universal week, a 9 universal day. The influence of the full moon today should heighten your creative sense of doing things in a way that reflects inspiration and the imagination. The point being that whatever you do over this 24-hour cycle is to inspire others to be at their best, which in return will bring out the best in you. Today will be the last time you're able to do so for the remainder of this month. Aries, Scorpio, Leo, and those born on the 9th, 18th, and 27th of any month seems to be the ones with the creative spark more than most. Once again, that is our Astro-Numerology forecast for today, courtesy of Astro-Numerologist LLoyd Strayhorn and the Star 8 mobile numerology app. You can download it at Star 8, ASTAR, the number 8.com. You can get it on the Google Play Store and on the App Store. You can also go to Linktree/numbers and you. How different are you? I haven't just figured out that I'm different. I've been different for most of my life. I couldn't understand it in the first part of my life because I was so young. It just seemed like everybody else was doing something totally different than what I was doing, which made me seem a little weird or strange. When I got older, I decided to check out my numerology report, and I found out that different is very much a part of who I am and a part of my makeup. There's things about us, gifts, talents, unique things about us that make us different from others. And the only way to find out and understand is to get your personal numerology report so that you can discover more about yourself and why you've been going through some of the things that you've been going through. You can get that report and your compatibility report, your yearly forecast, and all of these reports for your business at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. Looking for a little more insight? You can also book your soul therapy session with Kimbaley, an experienced licensed metaphysician certified as a metaphysical practitioner. You'll find that this service is not like any other services. This service is designed to help guide you on your journey. In this service, I use my experience as a metaphysician, I use my intuition, I use your numerical blueprint, and I use the power of the oracle cards to help shine a light on your journey. There is a limited time offer that will not be lasting long. So if you are interested in this service, you can book at Kimbaley, KIMBALEY.com. Now let's get into the show. Before I even get started and begin to do what I'm going to do today, I'm going to let you know what I'm going to do. Today, we're going to read the energy for this week, the energy that we can expect for the week. And this is according to the oracle cards that I will be using. Today, I'm going to be using Money and the Law of Attraction cards by Esther and Jerry Hicks. This is based on the teachings of Abraham. What I will do is I will pick one card, and I will also use the numbers in the card to read the numerical frequency of the card. This will be the energy that we will allow to guide us for the week. And who knows, maybe I may even include this theme in one of this week's stories. So I've already shuffled my cards. I'm just going to pick the one that is on the top. And I pick: the better my story gets, the better my life gets. This card is the number 38. I will first read the card and then I will go into my spiel about the card. The card says, begin telling the story of your desire and then add to it the details of the positive aspects that you can find that match those desires. And then embellish your positive expectation by speculating with your good feeling. Wouldn't it be nice if? And then give examples. You can say things like, only good things come to me, and I'll figure it out as I go along. Every time you tell your better feeling story, you will feel better, and the details of your life will improve. The better it gets, the better it gets. My question to you today is, what story are you telling yourself? In this card, it is suggesting that you tell a new story about yourself. What story is that, you may ask? And the story that you should be telling about your life is the story that you would like to see unfold in your life. When you think about the number 38, it is the 11, the master number 11. To me, this lets me know that you have the power to master your life through this story. The master number 11 is a very visionary number. You should keep this in mind by using your imagination, the power of your dreams, because with this 11, that means that there are going to be many things that are going to be coming to you into dreams. And sometimes it's important for you to pay attention to your dream. Sometimes you need to write those dreams down. Another thing that this is telling me on the aspect about the dreams is that whenever you create the story that you desire to see unfold in your life, every night before bed, you should have this story playing in your mind so that this story will play all night in your mind. The thing about the subconscious mind is, when you play this story out in your mind using your imagination before rest, please understand that this story will be playing in your mind all night long into the next day. It will be playing in repetition. And if we know nothing about the subconscious mind, we know that the subconscious mind loves repetition. So whenever you get this story in your mind and you sleep on it, that's why a lot of times when people make deals, you notice that they say, okay, allow me to sleep on it to see how I feel about it, because that's a way to make an impression on the subconscious mind, and that is also a way to get answers. I also want to bring to your attention that The master number 11 is ruled by the zodiac sign of Leo. And who is a better storyteller than a Leo? And I know this because personally, I am a Leo with a lot of Leo placements. And what do I do on a regular basis? I tell stories to help uplift and inspire others. So, this master number 11 frequency, which is giving off the frequency of Leo, is telling you to create a story in your life that is uplifting, that empowers you to create another persona, that's Leo energy, of yourself. And what that simply means is you're changing the way that you view the world. You're changing your life because you're saying that my story used to be this, but now my story is much better. So my life is getting better. And since we're talking about the story that we're telling ourselves, it is important also for you to know that you have to be aware of the stories that you are already telling yourself. A lot of times you get stuck not being able to align with what you want to manifest because of the story that you continue telling yourself. So, where are these stories coming from? These stories are a part of your program. These stories are coming from the subconscious, and sometimes you don't even know that these stories are playing out in your life until it actually manifests in your reality. So it is important for you to become aware of yourself. You can do that more through meditation, mindfulness practices, journaling, to determine what story it is that you are telling about yourself. And if that story is not such a good story, you need to write the story to make it better. So it's not that you came into this world with a bad story and now you're forced to live that story out. It is that that story is playing in your mind and you can go in and change that story at any moment that you want to do. And I find that that very much embodies the master number 11. Being visionary, seeing things that no one else can see. And although that is the master number 11, when you add that number 11 up, you get the number 2. And the number 2 talks about patience. You may feel like what you're seeking is taking too long to get to you. Sometimes people give up at this stage, but that number 2 is reminding you to be patient. It's also reminding you to be compassionate. Be compassionate to the needs of others because with that too, you have a sensitivity. When you become aware enough of yourself, you can begin to be sensitive to the needs of other people by feeling what they feel, feeling their emotions, tuning into them, seeing what they need, because you never know that these people that you are called to be compassionate to and sensitive to could be the people to help you grow to the next level. The number 2 also represents the feminine principle. When I think about the feminine principle, I think about creation. This right here is calling you to action. It's saying, don't just wait for things to fall in your lap. If there's something that you're lacking in your life that you want to create, go out and do it. And that's reinforced by those 2 ones made up in the number 11 because those ones are fire numbers. They're get up and go. They're passionate. That means take action. So you're going to be patient, but at the same time, you're going to take action, which brings me to another thing that you should know about the 2. Balance and harmony. Sometimes I know you may feel like you can do it all by yourself, but that's not necessarily true at all times. And what the energy for this week is calling for is for you to be cooperative. This means finding harmony in your relationships, finding balance in your relationships, being able to see the point of view of others because their point of view may help you because yours may be limited according to those stories that you've been telling yourself. So, this is a time for you to find balance in your relationship and learn how to work with others because you never know where that may take you. One way that you can work with others in a way that may not seem as big as any other way is by sharing your positive news story with them. When you share your positive story with them, they touch and agree on it because they're listening to it, especially if it's interesting enough. And sometimes what you need is the power of someone else to uplift you and tell you you can do this. The number 2 is also a dietary number, and we know that these frequencies and energies are oftentimes symbolic. So, with this part, I say be careful of your intake and be careful of your output. Be careful of the things that you are taking in from others. If they don't have anything positive to offer to you, you need to limit your space with these people and your output that goes to telling those same old stories that you've been telling. Be careful. One example of this is someone saying, I'm tired. I had a conversation with someone about this, and when this person said that I'm tired, they always seem to feel more drained than usual. It's because that they're telling the story of their life of them being tired. So that's what they are creating in your life. So being careful of your output is being careful of the stories that you tell about yourself and the stories that you tell about others that are in your life. And just going back on talking about telling your story, because the number 2 is connected to this reading, it means that you should be detailed in your story. And when I say detailed in your story, you need to tell things in your story that will impress the subconscious mind. This requires using your emotions and all 5 of your senses. The stronger the emotions you use, the bigger impression you make on the subconscious mind. The more of the 5 senses that you use, the bigger the impression it makes on the subconscious mind. And the last point that I'm going to get into, because I could go into this forever, it's about the spiritual principle of this. On the Manifest on Purpose show, I like to give you a holistic approach to manifestation. And that holistic approach to me is mind, body, and spirit. In order to be able to align with the things that you want in your life, you must have all 3. And when we talk about the spiritual principle, this is what I want to say. Spiritual simply means connecting to the spirit or the soul. It doesn't matter what you practice religiously or what you practice at all. What matters here is that you're able to connect to the highest part of yourself. The higher self is the spirit or the soul of you. It's the part of you that's been there and done that. It's the part of you that understands and knows your purpose. It's the part of you that is constantly guiding you. And because it knows everything that there is to know about you already, you need to be able to tap into the higher source that is within yourself. That part of you is not out there. It's right within you, and you have to tap into that. And one of the ways that you can tap into that is through meditation. So that's the energy for this week. This week, you're going to be writing a new story about yourself. And it should be fun for you because you get to use the power of your imagination and you can create any story that you want to create for yourself. And I will say briefly, just a small word of caution, whatever story that you create, is what's going to show up in your reality. So make sure that what you're saying in that story is one that you would like to see in your everyday life. For this week, I want you to practice writing your story. And I want you to do that by keeping a journal, keeping up with your dreams, seeing what's happening in your dreams. Because if you go to bed thinking about the same vision every night, then at some point that vision should start to show up in your dreams. As a result, you will probably notice synchronicities that help you align with whatever you desire. Start writing your story. Start reading that story over and over to yourself until you have it memorized. Well, that's the energy for the week. I love you to life. This is how you manifest on purpose.